What on earth have I just watched? Manchester United 1, Fulham 2. We've lost our first Premier League game in quite a long time, actually. I don't think we've lost since the new year. It's our first loss of the year, isn't it? So, very disappointed, I must say. I've had a few hours to, think about it because I didn't want to come on here raw straight after the game because I would probably say things I don't mean, but just in the heat of the moment, they would have come across wrong, let's just say. But there is a few things I want to get off my chest because obviously I'm not happy with that performance at all. No United fan should be. I mean, we shouldn't be losing at home to Fulham. It's as simple as that. That should not be happening. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have to try and bounce back, aren't we, over the next few weeks. Some important games coming up, including Manchester City next Sunday in the derby, which I'm not looking forward to. But anyway, let's get into the game. Very, very poor start to the game, I must say. I think the first 20 minutes might be the most boring minutes of football you'll ever see. And it didn't really pick up. I mean, the first half in general was just terrible, to put it easy. We started with Amari Forson. He was handed his debut for United. I say his debut, his first start for Manchester United. It came today against Fulham. I don't know. I'm still really disappointed. If I come across, not upset. I wouldn't say upset. I'm just disappointed, really. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That's all there is to say. Amari Forson, Ten Hag starts him. We must be seeing something in training that Anthony and Amad Diallo aren't showing in training because he's getting a start over them. He sort of played off that right-hand side where the other two would play. Rashford through the middle, Garnacho off the left, and it just didn't really work. Rashford, we're going to get onto Rashford later because, wasn't the best performance from him today. But all in all, the whole first half was just garbage. Like, it was actually terrible. It was really bad. I'm trying to think of the change. Did we make any subs in the first half or at half-time? I don't think we did. We made 2 subs about 7 minutes into the second half because obviously things weren't working, but I think also because of a clash of heads. Casemiro and Harrison Reed clashed heads early in the second half. They were down for quite some time. Casemiro just had blood pouring out his head non-stop, so he had to come off. We didn't use a concussion substitution, though, I don't think, so we won't miss the game, because I think if you do use a concussion substitution, you have to obviously be absent for a week or miss the next game. So I'm glad we didn't use that. I'm glad he's all right. I've heard he's all right anyway. Clash of heads, and he just wouldn't stop bleeding, so we had to get off there. Same with Harrison Reed. He went off a bit later in the second half, but he did also go off as well. So as soon as we brought Casemiro off, it was a bit, like Shaw injured, Martinez injured, Casemiro injured. All 3 of them are injured again. The 3 players we've been dying to get back in the team, and they're all gone again. I don't think Casemiro's will be too bad. I think he'll be back for the derby next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. But he came off, Scott McTominay replacing him. Didn't really have an issue with that. It was always going to be McTominay. What I did have an issue with is bringing Forson off 7 minutes into the second half. He wasn't great, but the substitution didn't make sense. We brought Eriksen on 7 minutes into the second half. A player who likes to slow things down, pick a pass out, from long range. It just didn't work. We didn't need that. We needed a winger who could run at the defender and put a ball in the box. Forson struggled a bit. First start, we'll let him off. He's a young kid. But I don't know why we brought Eriksen on, to be totally honest with you. He was terrible, to put it quite straight. I like Eriksen. I think he's a good player. Is he past it a bit now? Maybe. Is he good enough for Manchester United? I don't think so anymore. But yeah, he wasn't great, Eriksen. He just looked a bit lackadaisical in midfield. Everything just seemed dead slow with Christian Eriksen, which is sort of his game now. He sort of comes a bit deeper, picks up the ball deep and tries to spray a pass out wide, but he just wasn't working in this game. We needed a winger on. Ahmad and Anthony, any of them. Just put one of them on. So yeah, the substitutions didn't really make sense. McTominay didn't do much when coming on. We ended up putting Bruno to the right to accommodate Scott McTominay, which is never good. You don't want to move your best player out of his position to accommodate someone else, and that just shows where we are at the minute at Manchester United. And it showed in Bruno's performance when he got moved out to the right. He just wasn't good. It's as simple as that. He just wasn't good. So yeah, that's that little tangent. We then concede a corner. Again, set pieces, corners, we're just terrible at defending them. Fulham whip it in. It's just an absolute goalmouth scramble. And Calvin Bassey scores his first Fulham goal, or his first Premier League goal of the season. He just smashes it with his weaker right foot roof of the net, no chance for Onana, to be totally honest with you. He was never saving it. He just steamed it, didn't it? And Fulham wheel off in celebration after going 1-0 up. Not a lot we could do apart from defend it better. It was really scrappy. Players just flying in for tackles, etc., etc. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good to see. So then we're under the cosh a little bit. 1-0 down. We're struggling at home to Fulham in a game I think most United fans, 90% of them anyway, predicted us to win. Obviously, no Rasmus Højlund in the game as well. Forgot to mention that at the start. He picked up an injury in training. So he's out for a few weeks. He'll probably miss the derby as well, which is not good. The injury list is just, it's astronomical at the minute, and we are really struggling with it. The players that come on to replace the first teamers, it's just a massive drop-off. You're taking your big players off, and then the drop-off is insane for the players you're bringing on. So, yeah, it's not great. We do, however, for the last 10 minutes, as soon as it hits like the 80th minute, with the last 10 minutes, we are dominating them. We are just creating loads of chances, obviously not putting them away because that's not what United like to do. We had a corner, I think. Bruno whipped one in, or Ericsson. Maguire free header puts it over the bar from 4 yards. That was disappointing because that should have been a goal, obviously. He's 4 yards out. Harry Maguire, one of the best headers of the ball in the league, and he puts it over. Really disappointed with that. But he did redeem himself a little bit by scoring the equalising goal in the 89th minute. Bruno Fernandes had a shot parried by Leno. I think it was a bit of a mistake. I think he went to catch it, Leno, and spilt it into the path of Harry Maguire, who with his left foot tapped it into an open net. That was the 1-1. I would have taken a draw at that point coming from behind. But no, obviously that wasn't meant to be. The referee, I think, added 9 minutes on. So then, once we've scored, I'm thinking 9 minutes, we can get a winner here. But no, we don't. It was a Fulham winner in the end, unfortunately. We ended up bringing Ahmad on. Anthony came on for the last 50 seconds of the game. The substitutions didn't make sense again. They just didn't make sense. I'm not going to lie to you. We didn't really have a style of... I'm not Ten Hag out, by the way. I want Ten Hag to stay for now. There's no reason why we should be getting rid of him, obviously. That's just... It's a plain, simple statement. If you are Ten Hag out, I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with it. That's all there is to say about that. But yeah, the substitutions didn't really make sense today, in fairness. But yeah, where was I up to there? Yeah, 9 minutes left. Under the cosh. Not under the cosh, sorry. My words. I'm just not thinking straight here, am I really? 9 minutes left. Let's start that again. 9 minutes left. We should be going on to win the game, to be fair, because we've just scored a goal to equalise it. There's 9 minutes to go. We should be the team on top. We were on top. We were creating so many chances. We just couldn't put them away. And then Fulham with Adama Traore. As soon as I saw him coming on, running at Lindelof, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a struggle. And believe it or not, we lose it on the edge. I think Ericsson loses it on the edge of the Fulham box as we're attacking. Ericsson loses the ball. They pick it up. Adama Traore absolutely skins. I think it was it Garnacho or Bruno, I think, or Lindelof maybe. And then Maguire, he's coming on one-on-one with Maguire. Maguire just leaves him. Again, I mean, to be fair, he is on a yellow card, but Adama Traore skins him for pace, and then Maguire's caught in two minds. As Adama Traore beats him, does Maguire bring him down and get a red card and miss the next few games of football? Does he, well, I mean, that's all there is. I don't even know. There's no other option. It's either you take him out or you don't, and he didn't, which in a split second, you've got to make a decision that quick in a game of football, and he didn't do it. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't have as well. There's no point getting a red card there. And then Adama Traore plays in Alex Iwobi, who, weirdly, I don't know what the defending was for that. Dallo and Ahmad both got sent, and I don't know what they were doing. They both defending it. They both expected Iwobi to shoot with his left foot, and he just shifts it onto his right foot and tucks it home, roots Onana to the spot and curls it in, and Fulham go on to win the game in the 97th minute. Disappointing defeat. There's not a lot more to say. It was just shocking, really. The second half especially, we were bad. We did not look like Manchester United. We looked like Luton. We looked like Sheffield United, Burnley. It was weird. No disrespect to them clubs, obviously, but it's Manchester United. Come on, we should not be losing at home to Fulham, especially in that fashion, with that performance. It was very, very disappointing. And to be fair, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Where do we go from here? Let me know. We've got Forest in the week in the FA Cup. Hopefully a win. We're away from home. We'll probably struggle with the atmosphere. Man City away from home on Sunday. That one I'm dreading. But fingers crossed we can, pull a few results together. It'll mean the world to me to beat Man City next week. Whether we do it, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's me finished ranting and raving. I said I was going to get onto Rashford and Bruno, but I'll quickly go on to them now. Disappointed. Again, Rashford just doesn't look interested at the minute. I don't know what it is. I mean, he sort of loses... Well, when he loses the ball, he just sort of walks around everywhere, doesn't he? And I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the way he's performing at the minute. I mean, he can, in the blink of an eye, he can beat a man, he can get a shot off, he can put a cross into the box. I mean, we've seen it the last few weeks. He started to improve, but today that was very, very disappointing. I've got to say it. I've got to point it out, haven't I? I've got to point it out. It was massively disappointing, and I just hope from here on he will kick on for the season. Bruno, again, he wasn't great. Again, he's passing. I don't know what's up with his passing recently. He goes down as well for loads of little tackles that he doesn't look like he gets hurt from. I'm just fed up with it at the minute. I'm fed up with that game. I just want to put it behind me and move on to the next one. Forest on Wednesday. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I mean, I don't know why you would enjoy me just ranting and raving, but hopefully you did. Also, actually, just before I end it, we are moving into the new office. Well, not new office. I've done it up. It's all good. We're moving into that soon, so the videos will be back in the office very, very soon. See you next time.